The score is Kingston 7, Coughlin nothing.
From Charles H. Long of Sweet Valley Golf Distributor and your local golf dealer, a great new economy-priced winter tire, the Golf Blazer. And you can see it right now at Lascaris Golf Service, Wyoming Avenue and Bennett Streets in Kingston, or Fox Golf Service, Main Highway in West Nanticoke. The Golf Blazer has an extra deep, hard-gripping tread that's made with Golf Flex rubber, so you get thousands of extra miles of positive traction. Important, too, the Golf Blazer gives you a soft, quiet ride, even on dry pavement. Now, before you buy any kind of winter tires, you owe it to yourself to see and compare the Golf Blazer. Have them installed now at Fox Golf Service, Main Highway in West Nanticoke, or Lascaris Golf Service, Wyoming Avenue and Bennett Streets in Kingston. Have them installed while you wait. And you can use your golf credit card. We'll have a look at the action for the first half in this game between Kingston and Coughlin. But first of all, I'd like to say here's a name to remember. We're talking about Al Johns Pontiac. The Al Johns team is ready to serve you with top-notch buys and the finest custom service. Take a demonstration ride in a brand new 1964 Pontiac Catalina, Bonneville, Star Chief, or Grand Prix. Or try the thrifty, economical Tempest. See why Al Johns is setting new sales records every week. Stop in now, take advantage of the fabulous offers being made at Al Johns Pontiac. And don't overlook the large stock of Goodwill used cars. Whatever your preference, you'll always be completely satisfied with a car from Al Johns Pontiac, 560 Pierce Street in Kingston. And now for a recap of the first half, brought to you by the Kingston National Bank at Kingston Corners, your bank on the west side. Kingston National Bank, your bank on the west side, invites you to come in now for your free holiday gift. When you open a new savings account with $10 or more, or add $10 to your existing account, you'll receive a beautiful holiday candle absolutely free. Now, these beautiful holiday candles are made up in a clear glass vase, attractively decorated with sprigs of holly, snowflakes, netting, and other festive decorations. They'll add a gay holiday touch to your Yuletide meals and entertaining. Kingston National Bank has an attractive free gift for Christmas Club members, too. Open your new Christmas Club now at Kingston National and receive a pair of lovely old-fashioned bayberry-scented candles that will add a warm glow to your home during the holidays. You can open a Christmas Club account at Kingston National Bank in amounts from 50 cents to $20 per week. Begin saving now for next Christmas and receive these lovely bayberry candles as a gift from Kingston National Bank at Kingston Corners, your bank on the west side. Remember, your savings at Kingston National are insured up to $10,000 with the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Now, with that recap of the first half, here again, Franklin D. Coslett.
I would hesitate to say, and probably would not admit, how many of these Kingston-Coughlin games I have seen down through the years. And I had come to realize that none of these games is a pushover, regardless of the potency of one of the clubs and the impotency of the others so far as the records of that particular season are concerned. I do say, however, that this is not one of the great Kingston-Coughlin games to the moment, although there are always incipient explosive qualities on any athletic field which may permit the game to burst itself wide open in the second half. However, there is the usual stubbornness of the underdog club to concede the game to the other. Coughlin has honestly been playing tremendously hard and working awfully hard in there to achieve a kill. Their greatest opportunity of the ball game came with a Kingston fumble on a Coughlin punt. That fumble occurring at about the 25 as Raklevich, cleanly getting the punt out of the air, attempted to hand off to his backfield mate Fred Richards, and Richards could not grab the handle of the ball, fumbling it, and it was recovered by Coughlin on the 22. That might have given Coughlin the initiative to go on into pay dirt. However, almost immediately thereafter, as a matter of fact, immediately thereafter, on the first play from scrimmage, they sustained a 15-yard penalty, which knocked them back on their heels and seemed to sap their offensive thrust and energy. As for Kingston, they've lived up to their reputation as being a really great ground club by using Raklevich both to go through the heart and also as a feint to permit the halfbacks, Dietz and Jones, to spring off the tackles to make sizable yardage, but they have not been able to hit from the air in their two pass attempts. As a matter of fact, let's take a look at that situation. Kingston has, according to our unofficial statistics, 8 first downs. They attempted 2 forward passes, of which both were incomplete. They punted upon 2 different occasions. They fumbled once, and that recovery was by their opponents. And in penalties, they sustained a total of 45 yards against them. 3 individual penalties, each of 15 yards. Coughlin, on the other hand, has 4 first downs in our unofficial statistics. They've gone to the air upon 6 occasions. They completed 2 passes. They had 2 intercepted by their opponents, which again occurred at crucial times. They also had several plays which apparently were to be passes, but where the potential passer was just smothered under the advancing horde of the Kingston defenders. They punted twice. We don't have the actual yardage or averages for you. And in penalties, they have had 5 different penalties with a total of 65 yards against them. Biggest thing at the moment is a 7-0 score, Kingston over Coughlin. Kingston largely has used an offensive on the line of Dan Watkins, John Uter, Richard Jesse, Larry Rosenbaum, John Zaleski, Ron Kopicki, and Bob Surridge, with Les Lease going in as the alternate for Jesse on the forward wall. The backfield offensively has been Jack Williams, Jack Jones, and Bruce Dietz. Mike Raklovich in the fullback position. Mike Clark and Fred Richards are the other backfield men who have seen action. And that's about the story of the lineups for the Kingston club. For Coughlin, they have gone offensively with Gritsko and Davenport at the ends, Gilday and Burke at the tackles, Everett and Michaels at the guards, Pat Sweeney at center. And a backfield of Lou Blom, Greg Zitch, Jim Lazarski, and Richard Holthouse. Also coming into action have been Nano Pachotti and Slavinsky and Babushchak on the defensive for the Coughlinites. At halftime, Kingston 7, Coughlin nothing.
Kingston National Bank at Kingston Corners has a beautiful holiday gift for you, and it's absolutely free. Open a new savings account with a deposit of $10 or more, or add $10 to your existing account at Kingston National and receive a gay holiday candle in a clear glass vase, attractively adorned with sprigs of holly, snowflakes, and other Christmas decorations. Your choice of 3 festive styles to grace your holiday table. These beautiful candles will add a warm, festive glow to your home throughout the holiday season. Remember, you get your gay holiday candle free at Kingston National Bank when you open a new savings account with a deposit of $10 or more, or add $10 to your existing account. When you open your new Christmas club at Kingston National, you'll receive a pair of bayberry scented candles, absolutely free. Start an account now with as little as 50 cents or as much as $20 a week. Grow with Kingston National Bank at Kingston Corners, your bank on the west side. And remember, your savings at Kingston National are insured up to $10 with the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. That's a look at how the action went during the first half of tonight's game, or this afternoon's game, I beg your pardon, presented by the Kingston National Bank at Kingston Corners, your bank on the west side. We'll be turning it back to the studios in just a moment for the latest news. But first of all, here's an announcement from Wilkes-Barre Business College. Hundreds of students are unable to get into college because of overcrowded conditions. Are you one of these students? Well, if you are, Wilkes-Barre Business College suggests an alternate educational program for you. They suggest a 1- or 2-year course in business at the Wilkes-Barre Business College or the McCann School of Business in Hazleton. You young men especially may find a good future by studying business administration, majoring in accounting, studying such subjects as finance, banking, investments, business law, and business management at Wilkes-Barre Business College. The Wilkes-Barre Business College can help young women build wonderful, rewarding careers as stenographers, secretaries, or accountants. Enroll now for second semester classes now forming at the Wilkes-Barre Business College or the McCann School of Business in Hazleton. Write or call now for a 1964 catalog. Score at halftime, Kingston 7, Coughlin nothing. We'll be back with the second half of today's game in about 5 minutes. This is WBRE, AM, FM, Wilkes-Barre.
Jingle Rayburn is one of Monitor's weekend hosts on the NBC Radio Network.
We return you now to halftime activities of the football game between Kingston and Coughlin.
Hello again, this is Don Paul back at Memorial Stadium for today's game between Kingston and Coughlin, being brought to you by Deemer Stationery, 6 West Market Street in Wilkes-Barre, Al John's Pontiac in Kingston, your neighborhood good golf dealer, and Charles H. Long of Sweet Valley Distributor. Listening to this game today are thousands of young men and women, high school students who will not be able to attend a 4-year course on the college level, but wish to continue their education. The Wilkes-Barre Business College and the McCann School in Hazleton, two of the oldest and most highly rated business schools in Pennsylvania, have been training young men and women for the field of business for over half a century. Trained accountants and secretaries are in great demand by business, civil service, and private industry. High school seniors, make your plans now. The Wilkes-Barre Business College and the McCann School of Business in Hazleton are accepting second semester applications for February 1964, as well as those for next September. Write or call either school for the new catalog. Now with a little bit more of the story on the first half and what's to come, here again is Franklin D. Coslett.
The only touchdown of this ball game came with 9 minutes and 19 seconds of the first half yet to go. That was when Raklevich went over for the TD from out around the 2-yard line, and Dietz made the placement kick good for the 7th point. Before that time, Kingston had had several deep penetrations to have the defense of Coughlin stiffen and take possession away from the Kingstonians. The first of these was in the first plays from scrimmage, so far as Kingston is concerned, after Coughlin had been able to go nowhere offensively from the opening kickoff of the ball game. Kingston worked 3 consecutive first downs from midfield down to about the 20-yard line, and then lost possession on just about the 18-yard line when in a 4th down situation they attempted to use Raklevich, bursting him off the right side. But his yardage, although it was forward, was only for about 1.5 yards, which made it a half-yard short of the necessary first down, and thus was erased the first offensive thrust of the morning. Several other offensive patterns of both clubs interrupted by penalties, and as mentioned to you, there have been a good number of 15-yard penalties in today's skirmish, 3 of them against Kingston, and 4 such penalties against Coughlin High. So the boys in the striped shirts have been carrying the ball quite a bit during the course of the ball game, but there has been no protesting because the offenses have actually been pretty well seen by a good number of the crowd, particularly those who watch the line play and not necessarily the ball carrier himself. So it's a case now of a 7-0 ball game in this traditional Thanksgiving Day skirmish between Kingston and Coughlin. Kingston, as I had mentioned to you when we first came on the air this morning, being much the favorites in this contest. They having not been defeated in any of their ball games of the year, having 9 consecutive victories and going for what they hope will be their 10th, cinching the Wyoming, or they already have cinched the Wyoming Valley Conference crown. And Coughlin has had a middling season with a 5-4 record, and they certainly would be brought up for this game by their estimable coach, Joe Moran, in spirit. But whether they're able to match the spirit with actual prowess in the field still remains to be seen, although, as I had mentioned at the end of hostilities at the first half, they certainly have been a tough opponent here against the Kingstonians today. This has largely been conservative football upon the part of Kingston, and it has been a liberal game of football, if you want to use that term, a wide open type of football used by Coughlin, but which has misfired upon several occasions, notably 2 interceptions to nip offensive thrusts again. So we're about to go back into action in the second half of the ball game. Listen, pick up the PA announcer.
In a moment, silence in memory of our late president, Mr. John Fitzgerald Kennedy. Thank you.
And that was just about as silent as you can get a huge football stadium. That was a tribute to the late President of the United States, John F. Kennedy. Almost time for the second half. Here's Don Porter.
And here's good news for the residents of Pittston and vicinity. The Columbia Catering Service announces with pride the opening of the Copper Kitchen at 211 North Main Street in Pittston. The Copper Kitchen will feature Bonici's cold meats, Key State fresh baked goods such as Jewish and dark rye, rolled, bagels, and other items. Takeout, ready for the table haddock, shrimp, fish sticks, deviled crabs, as well as barbecued chicken and meat pasties. The Copper Kitchen will carry extra large, delicious pies for only 89 cents. And now just a word about Thanksgiving foods. Today, Columbia Catering stores in Kingston and Pittston will be featuring items to complement your Thanksgiving dinner. Fresh kielbasa, sliced turkey meat, homemade stuffing, giblet or plain turkey gravy, coleslaw, pepper hash, baked beans, pickled beets, homemade cranberry sauce, and pumpkin pie. Both Columbia Catering stores will be open today until 4 p.m. You can use free parking lots at each location, 918 Market Street in Kingston and 211 North Main Street in Pittston.
Second half of the football game, Kingston and Coughlin upcoming. Kingston leading 7-0, but 24 minutes of play yet to go. And Coughlin, as mentioned, fighting awfully hard in this contest, the traditional game of the morning. Coughlin will kick off.